Yes, ladies and gentlemen, live and direct. We ain't in central London, we're in Brighton, and we're at Helm Gallery. This is the Aroe exhibition. 1,000 pieces, and all of them for sale, and they've all got to go. It's going down. Let's get it.
Street Culture TV.
Instagram UK Frontline.
Beatbox created.
Killa Kela.
And we're here to talk about world music and street culture.
Killa Kela podcast.
Okay, people, our sponsors, the mighty GK Nifty Heads, have 10,000 play-to-earn GraffPunks NFTs to give away. Get ready as London's white trash goes blockchain digital with Bitcoin Cash tokens locked into them to claim. Get yourselves over to the website gkniftyheads.com and play to earn now. Yes, people, we're at the Helm Gallery, Brighton. And what a beautiful day to be beside the seaside. Helm is accompanied by a prestigious lady that is operating in here alongside our good friend Aroe. She goes by the name of Eden. How are you?
I'm really good, really good.
How are you finding operating? I mean, the space itself, for starters, is incredible. How long has it taken to develop?
Thank you. It has been going since September 2023.
23?
Yeah.
Any bumps on the road? Anything to report?
Yes, many bumps on the road, but I think that's always going to be the way starting a new business. So, yeah.
It comes with the
bumps.
exhibition world, doesn't it?
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
What's the connectivity like in Brighton for its art scene and the artists inside?
I think Brighton typically is known to be like a really creative city. I think there's a lot of artists that live here. Mm-hmm. A lot of artists kind of move down to Brighton in the hope that it's going to be this crazy artistic kind of hub. Mm-hmm. And obviously we have fantastic unis down here. So I think it really is, it's a massive kind of hub for creativity, but maybe sometimes we didn't have the right kind of outlets to get it out there. Mm-hmm. So hopefully Helm is the new space where that can be done.
And in a world of ever-changing perceptions of art, we're talking about, graffiti, street art more commercially in a space like this. There's a lot of dynamics that keep on evolving. Mm-hmm. How on top of things do you have to keep yourself?
Yeah, I mean, we like to keep it as fresh as possible. I think what we wanted to do at Helm was kind of push boundaries on what people have seen kind of in Brighton, and then also we want to go beyond that and what people have seen kind of from a new gallery that's just started out. So what we wanted from the exhibition hall, which is where we're in now, is for every single time someone visits us, it looks completely different to what it looked like before, so you can't believe how much the space can transform. Mm-hmm. We try and do as many things that are as immersive as possible, as accessible as possible, just so that it is inviting to absolutely everyone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that. Wow. Your upbringing, let's talk about that for a bit, because being the daughter of the man Aroe himself, that's one big card you got pulled at the very beginning of things.
Definitely, and I was it's funny that you say that, because I was thinking earlier about how maybe my upbringing was unconventional to some people, but then obviously when you're living in it, it's just the norm. So.
Give us some rare accounts of what you would best describe nowadays as the past norm. Just a casual, a day in the life of Eden, with your
dad. Day in the life. Well, probably, so a lot of my childhood was spent kind of at like halls of fame, so footing ladders. Dad would be like, get me a pink, but it has to be this colour. And obviously, because he always used to memorise every single name of the tin, like colour. Yeah. So it's like lost on me now, but he would just like shout a name, and you'd have to like quickly run to the paint bag, grab it, and because he's colourblind, he would just do it through names rather than what the colours kind of look like. Yeah. A lot of that, a lot of kind of my friends being like, oh, well, I'm going to town on Saturday, what are you doing? And I'm going to watch my dad paint. Like, I'm going to go watch him just be in the streets and hanging out. And just, I think a lot of my childhood was meeting so many new people. And every time we'd be kind of in the streets painting with Dad, the amount of people that would stop and pass by. So I think I'm quite, I don't know how to put it, but kind of I'm well socialised in a way.
You're born into the game, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah.
Did you ever get... God, here comes a more critical question that everyone's going to be asking. Were you ever like with your friends and all of a sudden a train goes past and there's your dad's name on it?
Not a train.
Okay.
But I do remember once in art class, I was in the first year of secondary school, I believe, and by this point, Dad had painted the Kensington Gardens mural, which was it was a crazy, it was really famous for the aspect of it.
Okay.
And all the pieces were kind of falling from the sky, and it was all these people just like looking up. And I remember in art class, the teacher like pulled it out and was like, "This is what we're going to study today."
Oh,
And I was like, "No," I was like, "That's my dad's work."
Yeah.
And people were like,
You're
"Yeah,
going to
sure."
pass, flying colours.
Yeah, but people were just like, "Sure," and I was like, "No, it is." Like, so yeah, I've had like funny, random things like that happen, and I've always kind of like been with friends, and then they might have seen something in the street, and then you have to explain that my dad painted that.
Yeah,
so
yeah. God, that's cool as fuck, isn't it? I mean, you can't write that. On the evening, I mean, you know, we're going to be showing throughout this, you know, as you can see behind us, the work he's amassed in like less than 3 weeks is absolutely insane. And I know you didn't have a single air of doubt in you.
No.
But, you know, for a lot of people that are going to come and experience this, even I was caught off guard. It's just like, oh my God. It's like, so, you know, how do you manage a big crowd that's going to be drawn on an event like tonight, you know, and talk through things, you know, stage by stage? I mean, it must be a lot of work.
Yeah, it is, but it's kind of, it at the same time, it's what you sign yourself up for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like the bigger we go with these shows, like this one in particular, the amount of people that have come and had like a little sneak preview, and they've said that this is by far like one of the greatest shows we've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, without sounding biased, I believe that it is, and that's why I chose to do it, because I knew that he would be able to pull it off, and I knew that I wanted it to be a retrospective, because I think obviously the work that we sell of Dad's now is his more like it's his newer work, which sometimes people are a little bit confused by, but if you've lived it and you know it, you completely get it and it makes sense to you. So what we wanted to do was create something where when you take a tile out of the context of what it's in, it does become an abstract piece of work, which is what he's doing now. So I think that's really important for people to understand that you're still buying into something that's part of the bigger picture, that's part of like a 30-plus year history of doing this and living it every day. So it's really important for people as well to like be able to buy into it.
100%. And also, I'd also add value to that in that it's the experience of being here at the time it happened, and this is my taking from it. Like, you'll never get a scaled piece of Aroes like this, and when you put it in context with the whole room, it is like you're taking a bit of the history.
Yeah, I want it to be like that for sure. I think it's a really good like little marker in time, and I want people to look back and think like that show, I was a part of it because I managed to get something from that. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's absolutely incredible, Eden, and I'm really proud of him. Very proud of you, Paul, and moreover, I'm really looking forward and hoping for the best success for you guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Eden, big up.
Respect.
God damn, that was slick.
And here's Aroe. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
Yes, you've been busy.
I have, yeah. I love a challenge.
Yes, you did.
And the other challenge is not 1,000 paintings. You know that? Someone accidentally sent an extra box. It's 1,010.
What, and you just kept on
We
going?
kept going. We lost track. And
with
then when they've added them all up and put them on to the system, there's 10 too many.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it like a you know a dollar count machine where they just running it through?
Well, you've got to look at the girls that work here. They're all just thinking in binary.
Yeah. Helm Gallery. Now, of course, we've speaking to your daughter earlier, and an absolute pleasure, and you know, a credit.
Yeah, I'm immensely proud of her. I really am. Yeah, she's really exceeded anything you could imagine. You know, when you're a parent, you hope your kids are going to turn out cool. Yeah. And I'm really proud of my
Well, it's
kids.
funny you say that, because she said the same thing about you, obviously from a father figure point of view.
What, saying your parents are normally pretty embarrassing?
Yeah.
And she said he's only a little bit embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, you can't ever get away from that, innit? You know, you're always going to be dad,
I'm always
right?
going to be embarrassing.
But seriously, how's it been? How has the journey in creating these things? It's been 3 weeks of non-stop.
Well, yeah. What happened was she had the idea for us to do this concept. And you know, it's been done before, so no one's pretending it's a totally original that aspect. But what we saw it as an opportunity to create like a line between the graffiti that people more recognise that I was doing, you know, like with all the characters, with the
classics,
Uzis
yeah.
and all the different stuff like that, you know, there's a natural progression in the same way that when you do pieces, after a certain amount of time, you switch up what you're doing.
Yes,
so
yes.
with art, I feel the same, you know. So what I'm doing is still based in graffiti, but I actually think what I'm doing now is much more based in the roots of graffiti
Totally in
than what
line.
I was doing before. You
I
know,
agree.
so what I was doing before was I was leaning too much on the characters and the different stuff to draw people in, whereas what I'm doing now is I'm using the textures and, like, you know, buffing and stains and tags and all that sort of stuff all layered on top of each other to create like a cohesive abstract. So it's all the energy of street graffiti but captured on a canvas, and then I try and balance it. You know, and some people think, it's just a load of, you know, art talk, whatever. Maybe it is, but that's how I see it. And if you look at this exhibition, you can see how it clearly has transformed from one to the other.
Yes,
you know, that's how
100%.
I feel.
And it was echoed in some of the pieces before you did this. You know, with the atats, with the kind of scribbles in the bottom of, like, you know.
Yeah. That perfect example. I mean, you know, that was to try to draw people into things. You know, I'm always constantly trying to find a way to make people interested. And I think maybe sometimes you get ahead of yourself. And I think with some of the more recent paintings I've been doing, I'm fully aware of what I'm doing and where it's going. But I think it's left a bit of a gulf between what I'm doing and what I had been doing. And I think it's caused a few problems for people to either visualize how to get from one place to the other, or how to follow it. You know, and I understand that.
And telling the story in a journey that people can jump into as they discover.
I mean, all I want them to do is sort of, you know, I've never hidden myself. You know, I'm quite vocal. There's loads of videos. People kind of feel like they know me even if they've never met me. You know, because the person I am in real life is exactly the same person. Like anyone who's ever watched our podcasts will know that the type of person I am in real life is exactly that same person.
Does what it says on a tin and better. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly what it is. You know, I love graffiti. I love a lot of the people that do it. I hate a lot of the people that do it. You know, in the same way everyone else. I echo most of the feelings of the people that are interested in what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just I'm belligerent and stubborn and difficult, so I'm just going to continue to push forward because that's how my brain works, you know. And it's like, if I look to the left and right and there's no one around, I haven't got time to bother questioning whether I'm going in the right or wrong direction. I'm just going to keep ploughing on, and eventually I'll either see other people creeping up, or I'll just think, you know what, fuck it, I'm in some other place, and that's cool with me, you know.
For sure. Product of your environment, essentially, and creating, and almost like taking magpie bites of certain things, like say shutters and things like that.
Every single thing for me is based in hip hop. The same way you take a snap, you know, the snare off that record, and this off that, the bass line off that record, and the drums off that, and then a yelp off that, and a cut from that record, and make a collage to create a hip hop record. That is exactly how I feel I'm doing that with art. I'm taking snatches and bits of this and bits of that and recreating it into something. So every person who looks at it does understand it. It's just whether they choose to listen or choose to sort of actually see it. It's on them. You know, I can't control how people react. That's you know, I'm not arrogant enough to think you can do that. I've either got to hope that people like it or just be happy that they don't.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, it's very rare you find an artist, you know, I'm putting you within the higher tier class bracket of artistry where they become the embodiment of the thing that they do, and you're hip-hop through and through, always have been.
Yeah, I haven't got any choice. You know, I often think and wonder, and I chat with some of my friends sometimes, I think, what the fuck would I have done if hip-hop hadn't come along? You know, it's
me
like,
too.
I just sort of think, Jesus Christ, you know, it's like, what the fuck?
What the fuck would you be doing?
Yeah, it's giving
how
me
can
the
you
best
you can
and worst
employ me.
things of my
You know,
life.
it's like shit.
It's like, what would I be doing? You know, I'd be like stacking shelves or being a security guard walking around at night looking at stuff with a dog or something. I don't know what I would do.
But where does... Okay, so we were in Helm Gallery. You know, this is a prestigious place. You know, there's...
I mean, anyone who hasn't been here...
It's fucking incredible.
This is some other thing. It's like, people can talk about galleries or they can talk about this, because this is some other thing. And I'm not just bigging it up because it's my daughter's gallery. once you've been here, you know that this is a next level.
It really is.
Thing. It's some other thing.
I swear to God. And what I love about it the most is that it's an all-inclusive. You know, you can get your drinks, you can get your your alcohol, you can get your food, and I don't know. It's just a one-stop shop for everything of an experience.
Yeah, I mean, they got a library upstairs.
Yeah,
and
that's
you've
crazy.
got a coffee shop. You've got all these different things. So it's like you want to come in and say for example, you wanted to have a business meeting with someone, you could come and have it here.
100%.
And then you're sitting in an environment surrounded by inspirational imagery, and you sort of think, there's a Stay High painting over there. Oh, there's a Blade painting. Oh, there's a Damien Hirst. Oh, there's a, it's wild, the mixture of stuff that's in here,
The crazy thing about your career and your lifespan as a young man that's been friends with you since 97 or maybe even earlier, me ballooning around Concord too, being ever the intimidating Aroe, the Lord Aroe.
The nice guy who everyone doesn't think is nice until you actually approach me, and if you approach me sensible, what a nice guy.
My point being is like with the notoriety that comes with Graff, how have you managed
to?
to
Remember, most of that is stories, isn't it? It's like, and some of them you lean into because you think, that'll serve me. That'll
folklore
work.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Let them hate. Let them do that because all the time they're doing that. Really, I'm just a practitioner of graffiti who listens to hip hop and has a passion for that culture. And that's it.
Well, it's the fault lines, isn't it? It's the DNA of what.
Yeah, I just think it's a bit of everything, isn't it?
So what can we come to expect to tonight? And the rest of the duration is going to be open?
I'll be honest with you, the way we've set this evening up is this might be one of the most hip-hop events you'll probably be able to go to.
Yeah.
in anywhere I can think. It's like, you've got art everywhere. You've got DJs playing breaks, looping them up and turning them into effectively instrumental rap records. It's going to be mad, and the different people that are coming, there's all different people from my past, and it's going to be nuts.
Yeah,
the mixture of people that will be here.
We're going to be here fully documenting it as well.
It's that unique thing as well. No disrespect to whichever city or wherever you come from. Because I know the people that are from London are very, very mainstay and very stalwart about their thing. London was this. It was, and we used to go there. But that should never detract from what we were doing where we were.
Before,
So it's like, as part of this, I've made like a journey timeline thing for people to look at as they walk in. So you can see all the different shit, like when, the first inspirations, some of my early sketches. And when we started, then there was no hip-hop jams for us to go to. So we made our own hip-hop jams, which...
Tunbridge and places like that.
Yeah, well, we went. That was the livestock jam in Tunbridge Scout Hut, and then there's the assembly line jams and all that lot that happened in '89. And I've put all the flyers on the wall upstairs, and with some explanations and some of the names of the people. So we were putting all those events on with Cell One and DJ Clear and Surprise and. Blob, First Rate before he was called First Rate, and all these different people, they were all pivotal people in our past. These people have gone on to become scratch world champions, respected rappers, in more Chiba, all these different things that were, and Prime Cuts was there at these times. There's all sorts of mad people that everybody knows that were all part of this weird scene that we had that was outside, And I'm not trying to ramble on, but a lot of those people will be here tonight. So it'll be a really unusual alternate look at that sort of era, because this is kind of like a celebration. It's not a nostalgia thing. It's like the upstairs bit that's how it started. Then it goes into the new team section, which less said the better, because it's, I don't want to get anyone in the shit, but we all know what we did, and it was the most important, pivotal time for all of the people that were in NT, and I've got nothing but the utmost respect for all of them and their input and dedication. So that section is summarised really neatly, and then when that comes to a close, it starts with the next period, which is the heavy artillery era, and that's what this downstairs section is. So it's like 3 definitive chapters. So it's not a retrospect so much, it's simply using this thing to paint 1,000 canvases in 18 days. I've done it as a way of looking at some of the images that people have loved the most from that last sort of 25 years. So using 2025 and going back to just 2000. You know, I know that NT was the whole beginning of the 2000s, but this is kind of the last 20 years.
And coordinated so well, it is, man.
I mean, I've got to say, Eden and Sam that work here, helping put all these canvases up, because everyone can sit and think, oh yeah, just bang. Try putting 1,010 canvases up,
It's
all
no
locked
joke.
together like paving slabs.
Yeah.
It's like we all had to learn to be tilers, you know, and they've all got to be dead straight. Otherwise, you know, if they're a couple of mil out, by the time you've gone 10,
You fucked it.
yeah, you're 2 or 3 centimetres
Yeah.
out. So it was nuts putting them up, and I painted them all separately so that we could then sort of create a lot of the imagery onto the wall. So it's not like I've covered the wall in the canvases and then done a piece. You know, I
No,
hope
it's a
that people
whole-
are quite clear with that
whole
when they
different
see
thing.
the images. It's like the Aroe block that I've done. That part of the fun of that was it was never painted as a block. It was painted as components like Lego.
Sick.
And then you have to build it out of the
Right.
pieces. And when we finished, Sam, what was there? Is about 25 or 30 bits of bevel left over that we couldn't fit in.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we had
Really
to paint over them and
Wow.
turn them into other things.
Jesus.
So, you know, it's a lot of work. You know, 20 or 30 canvases is still quite a lot
It's
to
incredible.
have to take back to the studio and paint them again.
I'm proud of you, man, honestly. And
Well, I
I've said it
appreciate that, man.
numerous
I
times.
really do. You know,
so,
it's like I'm a humble guy who likes talking. You know, I'm not anything more than that. I'm definitely not arrogant, and you know, I like to think that I've worked hard, and I want people just to sort of think, yeah, go on, man, well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, I
100%.
want to just celebrate Graff with them. That's it. You know,
my
It's all
brother,
love, bro.
my brother. And here we go again. Let's make it happen. Oh man, we have a French Don in the building. Paris's finest. Nilko in the building. How are you?
You're good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Really happy to be there.
Yeah, aren't we all? You know, what an incredible event that's been curated, and you've been handing help and being a part of the process too, right?
Yeah, of the end of the process, because he's working since 18 days to produce these 1,000 canvas. It's crazy. Yeah, he's a machine. Yeah, last time we've been
Absolute
together,
machine.
really, I'm so slow compared to him.
Yeah, it's scary.
No, I just came to help yesterday to finish the decoration of the windows, you know. And now it's good. It's on. It's already full of people.
Full of people.
Yeah,
It's
there's
already
already a lot
busy.
of people waiting outside.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's crazy.
What's the relationship between you and Aroe? Let's get into this, because you guys have done some amazing work together, even as close as like third, fourth quarter of last year.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, he's my English brother. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us the story.
And I know it's important for him that I'm here also. And yeah, when he came to visit me so much in France, so many times, you know, so that we can prepare our own show also, the Femme Damage one. And yeah, I mean, each time I see him, it's like I never left him, you know, and he was there the day before.
It's like the
you know?
next day,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Which having fun. We love the food so much, the music. Yeah, we got so much common points, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like me. He's a real b-boy, you know.
Yeah.
Real hip hop,
Real hip-hop.
feeling in his heart, you know. And even if he can do some modern stuff, crazy stuff, more metaphoric stuff, you can always feel the hip hop culture in his that's dimension, you know, in all the canvas he produces. That's something I really like, and that the publics like too, because people like to find this cultural feeling, you know, in the stuff, you know. That reminds them also the good days, the good music that they had when they were adolescents, you know.
Yeah, you're right. It's funny you go there in that, because of course, aside from the fact that, you know, hip hop is the underpinning value within how we appropriate and meet people on, there is an innocence to your artwork as well, which I notice. There's like it's the characters and how you work those characters. There's a real play to it. Perhaps there is the hip hop aspect in it, but there has to be a youthful.
Yeah, there's also a childhood angle for sure. Yeah, my relation with the animals since I'm a kid, with art, with the antique Greece legends and stuff like that. When I was 4 or 5 years old, a teacher told me the stories about the Minotaurus, about Medusa and stuff like that, and
Wow.
and that's typically why my characters now they got dog faces or cat faces or stuff. It's something I put some how do you call that, anthropomorphism.
Oh well, yeah, okay, yeah.
On different feelings or different animals, and then you can create little characters and then a world with all these characters together, and that gives you some feeling. So then you mix the hip hop, the graffiti culture, the antique souvenir memory you get from when you were a kid, and you mix all this,
Yeah.
and also the stuff that your parents learned, that you discover when you grew up and stuff like that. You digest all of this and you created some stuff that make people viber because they feel maybe this stuff, or they guess there is something behind,
Yeah, for sure. I love the way that it's reimagined in a particular way that often, just with the utensils, just with paint themselves, just repurposing it in a particular way, and makes you think in a different way as well. Like again, that's using restriction with creativity.
Yeah, also.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then after also when you learn art, when you learn the impressionism of Monet and guys like that, then you can learn some new technique and bring some fresh stuff in your art too, and let the cognitive side of the brain of the people bring some more imagination in the reading of your painting, because if you just do realistic or easy stuff, understand to directly at the first degree, it's less interesting, So and the fact also that here the canvas can be mixed, you can create your own language and your own imagination. Just taking something you can read it's less interesting that recreated your own scribe,
Yeah, 100%.
Your own writing.
It feels like layers have been considered right to the very wire of how it's presented.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
You can prefer your colors, you can prefer the rhythm, you can prefer a character, something, and then you can mix everything and you create your own canvas also,
So sick. Yeah. This is future forward. But then this was also, translated to your exhibition, the collaboration exhibition that you guys did. How did that go?
It goes very well. We do some back and forth from France and here, because he likes also to interact with you very fast, So you start to do something that you like, and then Aroe arrives and said, "No, he put some tape on a place that you really like, but finally it's getting better after," and then you go over it again, and so it's four hands work, very interesting also to do.
Yeah.
And he's so fast that he doesn't let you so much time to think about what you're gonna do, and it's so much more powerful and dynamic then.
It's hugely productive when you've got too much time to think.
Yeah,
that can be the enemy. That's the enemy right now, right?
It's always my enemy. I'm ADHD, so I always produce at the last moment. And he was furious against me because we had 6 months to prepare the exhibition, and we did it I did it the last month.
You'd already done it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no. And he's also a real master of technique, for preparing the canvas, like you got the augmented reality, you have the effect that they work in the dark also, the glow in the dark, the sides, the edge of the canvas is done, the background has to be also laser made or cut with special wooden machines,
Yeah, this is all for the framework and how that it
and
sticks
then you
out
got the black 3.0 painting to paint so that the black disappears. So then I say, fuck, I got 1 month to do that.
I'm fucked.
But finally, it was really crazy. And my associate, Eric, who got a garage of collection cars in Paris, he helped me to varnish the cars with
Big up Eric.
crazy PPG varnish.
Eric,
So they look like plexiglass, They are so shiny.
Smooth.
So smooth. Yeah. So the show is going to be in Paris the 25th of April.
So it's coming back again.
20. Yeah. Fame Damage 2.
Fame Damage 2, we're definitely going to be out there.
Yeah,
definitely going to be out
there.
What's the Parisian scene saying at the moment, graph-wise?
The scene in Paris? It's always moving. You get it's
crazy out there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, lot of people, a lot of different talent and different energies, you know. So yeah,
It's relentless.
yeah.
And a lot of people travelling to go there as well.
Yeah, also. Yeah, we just finished a show where I was really proud to be part. It was called We Are Here. It was in Le Petit Palais, organized by Helm Gallery, and so you got the D-face wings and the tongue in the middle of the museum.
Yeah.
And then you go inside. You got I don't know 140 different graffiti artists and street artists mixed with Manet, Renoir, and famous guys like that in one of the biggest French museums.
Wow.
So yeah, that was crazy.
I've never heard of anything like that.
Yeah, really?
No, that's amazing.
We had
the
more
mix of
visitors
mediums.
than the Louvre. Yeah.
Really?
It started during the Olympics, and finally it was so crowded that they pushed it till the 18th January. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy. Yeah.
So the next event is April.
Yeah, 25th of April in Paris at Galerie Vicelli. It's Rue du Pas de la Mule.
Nice.
It's next to the Carreau du Temple, where there will be the Urban Art Fair.
Nice.
Okay.
I know one bit of French.
Yeah.
Je m'appelle Killa Kela. Je suis un human beatbox.
Yeah.
Je suis prêt. Je vais vous mettre le feu.
Je vais vous mettre le feu.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
I'm already on fire.
My brother, it's been a pleasure chatting.
Yeah.
Nilko in the
Cool.
building.
Yeah. See you soon.
Rival Self in the building. How are you, sir?
Hello. Absolute pleasure to see you.
Yeah, you
it's been
too, my
forever.
I know it has.
I think, when was the last time I saw you? When we were doing hip hop nights in Portsmouth.
It's scary.
Stupid. Lifetimes ago. It's horrendous.
I know. Well, you're looking well, mate. You're looking well.
Thank you. I'm trying to live a little better than I did back then. to put it mildly.
Explain a little bit about what's going on upstairs for you in the DJ section.
Well, Paul has invited me along to do this, to sort of complement his mad show and brain. His specifications was, can you come along and do a soundscape? And to me, I'm like, that's amazing. Like playing in a gallery, playing to like an arty crowd, getting to do weird stuff. That's my jam. I'm not really, as much as I enjoy playing
The showcase thing.
Yeah. As much as I enjoy playing records for people, I don't know, I was going to say dance, but that's not true. Yeah. But, I like creating stuff and doing something a little bit different. So upstairs, I've got a lot of records that I fire through. Lots of doubles, and I'll be doing a lot of sort of live looping.
Explain the live looping, because this is where your USP suddenly kicks into play. Going back to what you're saying about the concept of DJing for party's sake.
Yep.
But when you've got this visual experience that's going on and the technicality of it kind of mirrors the turntablism era as such, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Explain a bit more about that.
So, obviously, I come from the era where there was no digital, there was no Serato, and it's just doubles and beat juggling and just keeping breaks going. The fundamentals of hip hop, which I still love, and I'll be doing a lot of that tonight because I just can't help myself. I love it. There's something so beautiful and tangible about that, and I'll never get away from that. I have got Serato. I think I've used it maybe twice in my life, and that's just simply to scratch records that are so expensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I can't cock it up. Whatever.
Yeah, don't fuck it up, man.
Yeah. So I'll be doing a lot of doubles, but there's also parts of it that I've sort of worked out where I'm just going to loop a tiny bit, on, and maybe layer something over the top of it, maybe do a quick scratch over it, and then before I'm going into the next record. I mean, I play so many records, but tiny amounts. And then at the end, I've got a 4-track cassette recorder that I've made my own cassette loops on, which is I don't recommend it to anyone. It's mad.
Brutal.
Yeah. But so I've got these normal cassette shells, but I've got 4 seconds of tape that I've just literally put in there, and somehow I've worked out how to keep a drum beat on time within that. It's mostly visual.
4 seconds?
Yeah, it's nuts. It's mostly visual rather than listening to it. You're watching it go round and you're going, right, kick, snare, kick.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, it's mental. But I've worked it out. So I'll be doing some of that. that was pre-recorded, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's within that you've got 4 channels. So you've got like a bass line, you've got the drums, you've got weird noise, you've got another weird noise, and you can sort of control it live. And that's going through an effects pad that I can screw with as well.
Like a chaos pad sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a loop pedal up there, but the only reason I've got that up there is to trigger samples and things, like bang,
Yeah.
just, you know, which I'll be putting over the top. And then obviously I've got the turntable free to scratch. So that's one thing. And then underneath that, I've got this new, I say new, very, very old, early 70s gadget that I acquired through Paul, actually, Aroe.
This is like an Atari, like old school
It's
cartridge
mad.
system.
Right. So this is, it's called a drum machine, which it isn't. What it is, it's 8-track cartridges that are tape loops of live drummers. It's mental, but it's from the early 70s, and it is a case of you push the cartridge in, it starts playing. That's literally it. That's literally it.
It
just starts playing.
You push that elevator button, off it goes.
And take it out and it stops. But you've got 4 sort of channels within that again, and you press these clunky buttons that you'll hear over the sound system, and that sort of determines what sound comes out. Now the thing with this, sorry if I'm going on, but
this is the technical part, people.
Oh man, the thing with this machine is it's amazing and it's beautiful and it's tangible and you can really get lost in it. Yeah. But because it's the early 70s and it's dealing with, tape, which degrades, it's so temperamental, and I've had to work out, you get 8 tapes with it, all of different drums and stuff, and only certain bits sort of work correctly. And you'll notice, if you watch it tonight, when I start playing it, I sort of push it, and it sort of catches the head, so you hear a muffled sound and then catch the snare. Like that. Catch that. And then at the end, I'll jam something in it to stick it in there, so I'm free to...
Really?
It's pretty mental. And then within that, I'm going to loop stuff over the top of it via the mixer. And do you know what? That bit, I don't actually know. I think I'm going to mostly make it up. So I'm a bit...
Right, so this is the bit, this is where technicality comes with human nature. Yeah. And you're doing this for, best part of 40 minutes to an hour?
Yeah.
Right, how do you keep that consistency?
So most of it is the records and the set that I have worked out. Within that, you can make mistakes. Of course, there's a huge margin for error there. But what I'm trying to do, and it's difficult for me because of the way I am and my personality, but I'm trying to screw around with the tape loops and stuff in such a way that if a mistake happens, I sort of ride it and sort of see where it goes and let it, because there's a chance that even like the cassette loops that I made, there's a chance that it's going to slip slightly and go off beat. Point. But I'm sort of, if I'm scratching over it, I'll just sort of adjust my flow or whatever. It really is a case of really knowing your instrument. It's really daunting, but the only thing I can liken it to is sort of jazz in some ways. But it's part of me is screaming because I like everything to be perfect, but it's not possible. So I'm like, I'm just trying to. It's more of it's a growth thing for me, I think.
Yeah, I can imagine, and I can imagine the living on the edge. The seat of your pants, playing.
Very
that
much.
Yields that live energy that a lot of DJs, no disrespect, miss. Because that's gone out of the equation.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I stopped doing competitions and battles and stuff, and removed myself from hip hop and everything to do with hip hop actually for about 10 or so years. I just didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't want to make music anymore, and it was there were a lot of reasons, personal reasons or whatever. But one of the reasons was I was just watching DMCs and stuff and just going, well, it's. Not that it's cheating, because it's not cheating, and I don't like it when people sort of, the
purist side of things. I
don't like it when people dismiss new technology and stuff, because there's some incredible things happening.
For sure.
Probably Paul said something about that's his thread normally. So I just stopped being interested in that so much, because I was thinking, okay, this isn't so much a competition where you're bringing records and you're like, right, how can I put something together that's going to sort of be better than this person. I just, to me, it was just like, well, I'm going to program a load of stuff, press a load of buttons, and it looks like you're doing loads of mad stuff, but you're not really, And the other thing everyone started sounding identical. Personally, that's how I've seen it. I mean, there are people out there that are incredible and they really interest me, but everyone now seems to sound identical, even down to the scratching, because you have YouTube where it's like, right, I'm going to tap in how to boomerang scratch. You've learnt it like that person, and then 1,000 other people have learnt it like that person. And me, when I started learning to DJ, I learnt by ear, and I was physically slowing down records and going, how are they doing that? And trying to emulate it. And
That's
when,
right.
when you do
and that's
that,
where you pick up your own
style. Exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, absolutely. Because you can't emulate it exactly because you don't quite know what they're doing. So you're sort of coming up with stuff, and it's a beautiful thing. And I think that's why all the early DJs are still so musical. You know what I mean? Like, there's not it's not a continuous noise.
No.
It's a musical thing. Man, I'm going on.
No, it's great.
Yeah, sorry.
I mean, by name as default, Rival Self. I mean, this is an exploration into your own. How far can you take something within your own style?
Yeah, very much. I mean, there's a lot to that name, and it's like my album that came out a couple of years ago now. By accident, there's a massive story to that, but we won't go into that. But that wasn't supposed to come out. But that came out, and that was a very personal thing. My new album is very nearly done. That's
awesome.
That's going to be out this year.
Boom.
And that is even more personal, and I think a million times better, because I knew that it was actually going to be put out in the world. Because, I'm making this for other people to hear, not just me. Even though the best art, I feel, is made for yourself, and if someone else likes it, that's a bonus. I don't see the point in making art for someone else.
And you're enjoying it. Yeah, that's the
absolutely
main thing.
loving it. Yeah.
Back in the bits, back on it.
Totally. Absolutely. 100%. Everything I do, if I'm not enjoying it, I can't do it. And that's been that's been the same with everything in my life. Art, writing, whatever. Rapping for a brief period of time. You know what I mean? It's just
All the art forms are here today.
Yeah.
The Helm Gallery.
Well, we're trying.
My brother, thank you so much.
No, that was amazing.
Here we
What
go.
pleasure. What pleasure.
You too, my brother.
Really.
Good to see you again. Louis, Rook Records is in the building. How are we, my brother?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Thanks for having us on.
I got lost on trying to find my way around Hackney, which is easily done.
Yeah, word of warning, we are in the arse end of nowhere. Yeah. But there's highs and lows with that, It's a double-edged sword. It's good because we're out of the way, so we can get away with murder. We can have friends around. We can do kind of what we want.
Yeah, Rook Records in the building.
Rook Records, yeah.
What, man? So how's things, my brother?
Yeah, good. Really good. I'm really excited for tonight. This show is looking crazy.
It's crazy, right?
He's the Don. Yeah.
Is it anything you ever would have expected? Walking down those stairs and suddenly seeing this collage.
It's a lot. Yeah. It's just I've never seen anything like it. It's crazy.
Absolutely bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah. But he's a bonkers guy. To be honest. In the nicest possible way.
Yeah, yeah. Doors open.
Just to be clear.
Yeah, but you've known him for a while, and he's an avid record collector anyway.
That's
He'll
right.
be on the phone all the time.
That's right.
Aroe?
That's right. Yeah, I used to work in Rare Kind, and Paul would come in all the time. And can I say Paul?
Yeah.
Shit, sorry.
Say it.
He used to come
Just
in.
don't call him after 12:30.
Yeah. He used to come in all the time and buy records all the time. He's got mad appetite for it and great taste, obviously. And then I moved back here 3 years ago and was working for Discogs, and we used to trade, and he's crazy about drum breaks and stuff like that. We both like weird stuff, like the Russian stuff he's very big into, and he was educating me on the Nordic stuff, and I was trying to return the favour with bits and bobs.
He don't fuck around.
It's great. I mean, his collection is it's ordered by country, some of it, which is just, I've never seen anyone do it like that, and it's just crazy.
Who does that shit?
Yeah, it's amazing. Really good. Yeah, he's got records.
What's it like owning a record store in 2025? Well, 2024. We'll call it 25 for good measure.
It's a labour of love. I mean, me and the other guy that do it, we always knew we wanted to do it. And it's in London. There's already great stores in London, so we were like, okay, well, we want to set ourselves apart a little bit. But it's paying the bills. It's a lot of work, but the work is fun. The work is great. But at the same time, it's like we're just trying to offer something that's not currently there.
Yeah.
Bringing stuff in that we focus heavily on import, trying to bring stuff in that's not readily available. Also, it's a great excuse to just have people like Paul, Mike, who you just had on, come and actually play music that you don't get to hear elsewhere.
That's right, and enjoy themselves and in part of it, almost like the bird box is built for them to do exactly that.
That's exactly it. Yeah. And I think people like Rival Self as an example, he came down and did this thing the other day. I've never seen anything. I've been watching DJ videos since I was a teenager, you know. I've never seen anything like it, like genuinely. Yeah. You know, it's great. You should check the video out. It's on our YouTube. It's mental, and he's playing tonight. I'm really looking forward to that. Just to be able, that's not going to work in a club. That's not going to work in an arena. It's not going to work in a boozer. Don't get me wrong. I like going to shows in all those places as well. But just to be able to have a space where people can just come down and really do whatever they want and indulge themselves. Yeah, it's just great. So that's a real part of it as well.
So give us the address. Full sun out here. Give us the address.
Shit, I'm on the spot now.
Yeah.
It's 9B Riverbank House, Hackney Wick, near Fish Island, and the postcode is E32TB. But that's not going to help you, because it didn't help you.
It didn't help me.
What you really want to know is, you get off at either Bow Station or Hackney Wick, and you're going to walk to where the Howdens is. There's a big petrol station, a BP, and you go down the side of the BP all the way down, and there's like an industrial estate, and we're in that industrial estate.
I went the
other way.
Yeah, now I know the petrol.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's word to the wise. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We've got like a pin now on Google Maps. So if you go on the Instagram, it'll take you to like a pin on Google Maps. It should be good. And then we also got Aroe to spray the outside of the shop, so it's like pretty vivid.
Can't fucking miss it.
Yeah. Once you're in there, you know which one is the record store, because it's it's good, which was also really great.
Yeah, man. Louis, thank you so much, my brother.
A real pleasure. Thanks for having us on. We're all
good,
big
my
fans.
brother. Thank you so much. Here we go. Keep it moving.
Salute.
Helm.